What's going on YouTube? Ben Jammin here from Nerds Geeking Out, bringing you more Zelda month. Because it's the 30th anniversary of Zelda, we are heavily anticipating the announcements of the new Zelda game. Is it going to be Zelda U? Is it going to be another storyline? We don't know yet. So what I'm going to do for you today is I'm going to count down the top 10 things I want to see returning from past Zelda games to the new Zelda. Here we go. No companions. Stop with this companion thing. Link is an individual warrior. He's been like that for many years, and he's had very successful adventures as an individual warrior. Throwing in a companion is kind of getting annoying now. I mean, Minda, Navi, it's just... Even the King of the Sea from Wind Waker was annoying sometimes. It was bad when they integrated it into the Minish Cap. I mean, it's a 2D game, but you give him a companion with the Minish Cap. It just kind of ruined the whole experience for me. So let's try and get Link on his own again, completely individual. Nobody pop me out and tell him that there's a specific percentage that this could possibly be the spot where Zelda could be living. Number 9, sword beams. Remember when you used to charge up your hearts and just one swipe would release a sword beam? You didn't have to raise it up to the sky and charge it up. You didn't have to do any special combo with the Wiimote. This would be awesome. Just get full hearts and be able to do a single distance attack on someone. Just constant, distant DPS. Then of course you lose a heart and it goes away. It was just a really fun option to have to attack enemies from a distance as opposed to using the boomerang, hook shot, or even the magic wand or bow and arrow for once. Number 8, a master quest. Most of the games have had this, and they've been really good at keeping this in the system. So let's hope in this game continues with that option. Master Quest is a great option for us, the returning players. We beat the game once, we want to go back and beat it again, but we want it to be more difficult. Maybe possibly even reverse it, like Ocarina of Time, where it was a mirror image of each other, or, you know, just make it harder. You get less hearts to complete the game with, you take more damage, you do half the amount of damage. Whichever way, it just makes the game a lot more difficult and a lot funner for us coming back to play the game a second time. It just keeps us coming back playing the game because we have to beat the harder version of it. And with the integration of YouTube and video games now, you're going to have a lot better replay value, and you're going to have a lot more people online giving you more entertaining videos, dying miserably like a Dark Souls game, but it's a Zelda game. Number 7, magic wands. There was plenty of magic wands in the history of Zelda. You had ice wands, fire wands, legit magic wand, you had the sand wand, you had the wind wand, you had plenty of different types of wands. Let's bring them back. Wands are always fun to do. Let's just do legit magic wand where you just cast a magical power, and depending on what it hits, it does a different kind of thing. You want to light a torch, you throw the wand at it, it lights a torch. You want to melt something, you shoot the wand at it and it melts it. Sky's the limit. Just make it so every target has its own individual property to what the wand can do for it. Wands are fun, wands are good, everybody loves using wands. Number 6, optional side quest upgrades. Now, there was a few Zelda games that allowed you to do side quests to upgrade certain pieces of equipment that you had. Link's Awakening allowed you to upgrade your sword after collecting so many seashells. A Link to the Past allowed you to upgrade your armor and your sword, your arrows, your bomb bags, everything. The Oracle games use a lot of different passwords and sequences to allow you to upgrade your sword and other pieces of equipment, so why not bring it back? It was a great idea to make the game feel more RPG than just an action hack and slash game. So I want to see them add in more side quests just like that, so I can upgrade my mail without having to go through a specific dungeon, or upgrading my sword without having to do this or do that or do this. It's just a great option to throw into the game because who hates new stuff? Number 5. A mix of 2D and 3D. A lot of the top-down Game Boy games did really good at doing this, where they mixed up the 2D and 3D elements of the game, giving you multiple versions of platforming. The console versions really haven't delved into this too much. I think it'd be cool just to have like a fun little Mario-style side-scroll jumper when you go into like a hole or go into like a cave or something like that randomly, just to give the game a little nostalgia value. Maybe even give it a mini game that kind of looks like Zelda 2, where you gotta defeat certain enemies on the screen to complete it, and then you move on to the next level, or you get your prize. I just think it'd be a fun thing to add on there, so all the fans who've been playing Zelda for 30 years now have something to look back on and something to look forward to in the future, and just remember why they love Zelda so much. Number 4, single rupees. A lot of games did this. You pick up a single rupee. The first Zelda game did this, Link's Awakening did this, but most of the time when it was in color, they really kind of dwelled away from it. With the days of you picking up too many rupees in a Zelda game pretty much upon us, where you finish the game at max wallet capacity because you have nothing left to spend the money on, why not bring back the single rupee rule, where every rupee you pick up is single, unless you pick it up in like a chest where you get 50 or 100. It would make it a lot more difficult to keep your resources flowing. So you would be a little more conscious when it came to using your bombs and arrows and all the other items that require refills at a vendor. I think it would make the game a little more difficult. It would bring back purpose to the rupees. So instead of having maximum capacity, you would just have enough to do what you need to do. Doesn't stop me from finishing the game with maximum capacity rupees. I've done that plenty of times too. But it would just give them, I think, a little more purpose, making them a little more rare. Number 3, pieces of power. This was something that was integrated in Link's Awakening, but never integrated again in the Zelda game. I don't understand why. The piece of power was this little triangle piece that would spawn every time you defeated the 30th common enemy on the board. Now, what that little piece of power did was it charged your sword up and gave it massive abilities. Just slash an enemy and go flying across the screen and explode randomly. It just made areas that were a little more difficult to traverse a lot easier on a new player. Plus, it was really cool to see the enemy go flying across the screen and just explode randomly like it was strapped to a bomb or something. I think it'd be great in addition to a next-gen game. Just randomly smoke an enemy with that thing, watch him explode in front of you. Maybe make it so if enemies collide together, they both explode. I don't know, but I think it'd just be a cool idea. Number 2, magic. Now, magic really hasn't been used for much besides maybe using the magic wands or using the magic powder. I want to see the magic spells come back, like A Link to the Past with the Earthquake spell, the Ether spell, the Bomb spell. With like Zelda 2 had certain spells in it where you can turn into a fairy if you even wanted to. I want to see that come back. Make it a little more fantasy-like, give you a little more option besides just attacking with your weapons. Maybe give you an option to fly past the enemies or go through this small hole as a fairy, or take out a whole map full of enemies using your power. It's just a really cool option they kind of just left to the wind and haven't really used since then. So I say bring it back. What can the harm be for adding magic in a game that already has magic in it? So, what's the number 1 thing I want to see return to The Legend of Zelda? You got it. It's jumping. Now, I'm not talking about running to an edge and jumping off, or falling off an edge, or jumping over a gap in the ground. I'm talking about legit jumping. The Rock's Feather, the Rock's Cape. Let's bring those back. Literally just have Link jump at will when he feels like it. I think it would just be a cool addition to actually see Link in a 3D game actually jump when you feel like it. Now, I'm not talking like Assassin's Creed jumping where you can climb up buildings in parkour style. No, just legit jumping. I mean, it would make it more Elder Scrolls-y. Being able to explore a town in all its glory on the rooftops, on the fences, jumping over mountains, jumping on trees, jumping over rocks, jumping over enemies. Imagine the fighting capabilities you can have using the sword, jumping in the air and slashing down and jumping and throwing bombs and jumping and doing this. I think jumping should just come back as its own thing. I don't know why Link hasn't been able to jump before in some of these console games, but in the 2D games he had no problem getting that through. So I say, let them jump. Alright guys, well, that's it for my top 10 things I want to see come back in Zelda U. If you guys liked what you saw, if you guys have more ideas on what you want to see come back in Zelda U, please put them in the comments below. I'll try and reply as much as I can with you. If you're a big geek, we have the roundtable discussions, which is what the full site is about, Nerds Geeking Out. Check out our website at nerdsgeekingout.wordpress.com. And remember, just subscribe and like and tell all your friends, your family, your coworkers about our sites. And if you have something you want me to check out, always link it in comments or send me an email, send me a personal message. I will gladly take a look at anything you want me to. So remember guys, like Hulk Hogan's always said, rip it.